Hey everybody, we are live, and we're live on 2 cameras today, and we've got a big light in the background, so this is real time here with the TED Show. I'm with my guest, Everett Jones, with Tech Pays.
Yes.
Thanks for the introduction, Jonathan. We appreciate it. He's got a lot going on. We have Bruschetta. Yeah,
Yes.
Close enough? God, I'm getting better at this, I think. Bob Lee, let us know that you can hear us and see us. We've got a lot to talk about today. I think Everett is doing some amazing work. I loved the title. He picked it, most of it. The title of the show, Washing Feet's in there, and you kind of have to, Normala says hi. See, she's already
Hey,
over.
how you doing?
So let us know you can hear us and see us. I see a lot of likes coming across. We love you guys. Welcome to episode 105. So we made it. So thanks for being on today. You've got a lot going on, but we want to hear some of your history. So
Yes.
I read your bio. I loved it. I love the thought process of Tech Pays. And then you've got an event today that we want to talk about.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
loud and clear we hear. So welcome.
Yes, thank you
Thank you
again.
so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So yes, my name is Everett Jones. I am the founder of Tech Pays Foundation, and we are teaching at-risk boys of color computer programming. And
At-risk boys of color computer programming. That's your, is that a necklace? What did you say that was? You
Well,
had a name for it.
This right here, I do.
Something marketing.
Yes, I do call it gravitational.
Gravitational marketing. I love that.
marketing. Got that from Jimmy V here in Orlando.
Love it.
And so this piece right here allows me to not have to chase people down. They see it and they ask me.
That's
what
a
is it?
computer board, right? Or what's it
Yeah,
called?
it's a microcomputer.
Microcomputer.
Yes.
See? I know my stuff, people.
Very good.
But that's an amazing thing that you're doing. We'll talk about that because you have an event with OPD today that
Yes.
it's sort of tied into that. So give us your background.
Okay, so my background is I'm originally from Washington State. You know,
Wow, Washington
home of
State.
Starbucks and
Oh, I saw that in your...
Yeah, I must say that because because a lot of times people think of Washington State, they're like, what's out there besides rain.
Well, I think rain and cold. That's what I think of. Seattle. I think of Seattle, and I think of that show that my wife watches incessantly, Grey's Anatomy.
That's right.
And so it's always cold and rainy out there. Is that true?
It is very true.
So how do you deal with no sunshine? When did you move here?
Well, we gotta have some vitamin D. I moved here back in '99, a long time ago.
Okay, so you've been here a long time. You've been here a long time. And what brought you here?
What brought me here? I had some family that I just hadn't met, before, and so I was like, man, let me get out here, and then also college brought me down here.
College. So you're a Knight.
I am.
Me too. And I was actually a Knight, people, so don't say I went to FTU. I went to UCF. Go Knights. We had a great season
Knights.
this year. It was awesome. And what did you study there?
I originally studied radio, TV broadcasting, but by the time I got out, kind of changed up a little bit. I had radio, TV broadcasting, criminal justice.
Wow. So you went through the whole gamut.
I did. They
But what did you want to do with that?
Oh, well, entrepreneurship.
Okay, so you were going around looking for what you wanted to do, maybe finding a major, but you always had the entrepreneurial spirit. We talk about that a lot on the show. Did that come from your upbringing? Did you always have it as a kid? Was there a moment where you're like, okay, I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to be my own boss?
Well, I was an artist as a youngster, and something told me, hey, let's knock on your neighbor's doors and see if they'll buy your artwork for 10 cents.
See, this is the entrepreneurial.
did.
How old were you?
3rd grade.
So you drew. You're a draw. What format?
Ooh, take me back. I don't quite remember.
But so that's so entrepreneurial. First of all, you've got the art. You have both sides of the brain. We actually talked about that on a show recently too. If you've got the artist side, a lot of artistic people don't know how to monetize their art. So they're all about the art, which they should be, but they always bring people in to sell. But you obviously had the entrepreneurial spirit and knew that your artwork was good, and you walked door to door. Door to door is actually a really awesome way to sell stuff. So did your parents have that? Tell me a little bit about that.
That's a great point. Growing up, it was just me and my mom, and two other siblings, and so she instilled in me the creative side. Hi, Mom. Pretty sure you're watching right now.
Hey, Mom.
Hey. Up in Jacksonville. Now she moved down here to Florida.
Awesome.
Just us growing up, and she gave me that real creative side of things. I remember during Halloween, we put together 3 pumpkins and dressed it in, I think, in my sister's onesie or something like that. Stuck it in the stroller, took it to school for a contest.
Nice.
To school,
and you won probably.
First place.
First place. And you knocked on doors. Was that always part of it? She encouraged you to explore and be good and open with your talent?
Well, I think more the creative side. I think it was just probably intrinsic for me just to go knock. 'Cause I asked her about it, you know, and it's something that I just decided just to go do, which is, I'm still trying to figure out where that came from. I have no idea.
Hey, Dee Dee. Hi, guys. We see you. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to saying hi. We love you guys. Thanks for being on. Okay, so you come down here. You still are an artist all the way through. Did you continue drawing, or did you switch to a different medium before you came to college?
Well, I at some point became a videographer. You know, videographer.
Which is hey, John, which is an entirely different art form. Trust me. We've got three or four cameras going right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to look straight ahead. So if you see me looking around, hey, Mama D. Mama D's on. She's she's awesome, Miss Mama D. So you became a videographer, or that interested you. Did it start with photography and then transfer over to videography?
Well, I think it was mainly video. You know, long moons ago, the show Entertainment Tonight. You know, watching that show behind the scenes, how they make movies, and that really got me interested. And from there, just, you know, video is just another art form of photography. They all one and the same. Once you know rule of thirds, and you can work your way around.
What's the rule of thirds?
Well, you know, let's say for instance on your phone right now, divided up into the tic-tac-toe grid.
Yes.
You always want to have, let's say, one subject on one of the vertical lines. If you have it in the dead center, the eye tends not to like dead center subjects. So it's best to kind of offset for video purposes and also for photography.
Hey, Brian. So we have real professionals here. Honestly, paparazzi's around the corner. I have no doubt. Actually, she's right here. Hey, Brian, how you doing? So what did you do next? So videography, but do you make a living out of that? Is that what your thought process was? You said you did at school. You were studying a myriad of things. So what did you do next? Did you start dabbling in it and said, this is what I want to do?
Okay. Well, with the photography side of things, video photography side of things, you know, I did some freelance work for a couple of churches. You know, did some sweet 16s, weddings, and things like that.
That just to hone your craft, because those are difficult, right?
They are very difficult because you have to kind of dress them up sometimes, because you'll rock to a wedding, and you know, it's you know, honestly it's okay.
He's a good man. He's being sweet.
And when you get back to the editing room, you have to dress up the wedding and make it look.
Oh yeah, this takes a lot to be edited. Trust me. So that's why we go live every day, so we don't have to mess with that insanity. Because you're right. That's what happens when you go back and you have a video or photography or both. You have to, hey Dave Benson, you have to look back. You have to make sure the lighting's right. I mean, I can't even imagine. That should be a whole different discussion on how to make something that isn't so pretty look pretty. I can't even imagine how that works. You're a genius.
It's a
simple
formula. It's a simple formula.
He's being so. See, he's nice.
It's not that.
All right. So then, after the weddings, though, you obviously said this is not what I want to do with my craft.
Right. So I'm also of the legal mindset also. So at some point I did go to Valencia and I studied paralegal studies. And I pretty much got straight A's and 2 B's, and I'm 3 classes away from that. Then I went to Full Sail University, got a master's degree in education, media design, and technology. And so I kind of bring all that together with Tech Pays Foundation, helping our at-risk boys of color.
All right, so I want to ask one question before we get to Tech Pays. So you got a master's degree, and what did you want to do with that? You said it's an education. Did you want to teach videography and technology? Or what did you want to do with that once you got it? Because a lot of people come on that either have gone to Full Sail or are graduates of Full Sail, and then they get into their field. What did you want to do with that?
Well, to be honest with you, I believe I got that degree. I wanted to be a professor at Valencia College.
Wow.
You know, in teaching, you know, certain aspects of education to up and coming educators and things like that.
But you went a different direction. So Tech Pays comes into how did Tech Pays come about? And tell them a little bit about Tech Pays. And we'll post all of the contact information, the URLs, hashtags, after we finish the show today. But give them an idea of what Tech Pays is and where the idea came in. Hey, Althea.
All right. So Tech Pays Foundation essentially came about where, you know, we were running a technology summer camp, and we started getting inquiries, you know, from around Orlando that says, hey, you know, we can't afford, you know, the summer camp, you know, it's pretty expensive, you know. And so as I think back to, you know, my roots growing up, you know, just me and my mom, and, you know, you know, when you're growing up and you have people that are coming and donating turkeys for Thanksgiving, and clothing is being donated. You know,
this is for you and your family.
For me and my family.
Okay, so you wanted to, you remember what you went through and the things that the gifts that people gave you, and you wanted to give back.
Simply wanted to give back and make sure that children like myself, boys like myself, would have access to the same programs that we're offering to others, you know.
See what a great guy Jen Waterman says. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Your guest, you too, Ted. I know, I appreciate that, Jen. All right, so you decided to give back, but that's a big thing. So there's this whole process. You have this idea, you want to give back. Most people want to give back because they had some sort of experience where they were touched or somebody else was generous to them and kind to them. So you took that, but a lot of people don't know how to make that into a 501c, a nonprofit. They don't know how to make it into something that it's actually impactful. So once you decided and you had the idea, what are the next steps? How do you engage the community? What groups did you get involved with? How did that all work?
Well, see, the next step is now, you know, naturally going either to the community, going to the schools, churches, you know, getting in touch with the Chamber of Commerce's, because with a cause as such, you know, it's one in which, you know, people will rally behind that cause and support. You know, it's a simple choice. Would you rather see our boys of color in trouble or in the juvenile detention system, see them on the news, or would you rather help get some type of technology certification for upward movement goals? You know, so now they're either being entrepreneurs in tech or now they're working at Lockheed or Siemens. Would you rather see that? You know, it's one of those type of concepts. You know?
So your focus is primarily boys.
It is primarily boys.
What's the age group for TechPace?
The age group for TechPace is 7 to 18, and we focus mainly on boys because up in New York now they have a large group called Girls Who Code and also Black Girls Who Code. You know, so
all right, so you're filling a need that isn't met. So do you go out? So currently, when you go out to programs, where do people, or go to a school, or you're try to engage a chamber, like you said? Yes. Do you have a place where they go, or do you go to them? Do you go to community centers? How do people access? And if somebody who's on here says, I would love for my group, my kids, my child to become involved, where do they go?
Well, the good thing is we're mobile. You know, and as I said before, this is a computer here.
I love it.
You know, and you know, here's our keyboard. You know, and all we need is a monitor. We could actually use your monitor if we had to. You know,
my dinosaur, but you could.
Got a web camera here.
Right. I forgot about that camera.
Yeah, that's all we need. And so we're mobile. So we'll take our microcomputers to different sites and we'll meet the children where they are. Because the challenge is this right here. If they're impoverished or at risk, single family home, you know, how can we expect them to meet us where we're at? So
correct.
Right now our challenge is, you know, strategically moving and having different sites.
So do you go into like the community centers, like for example, Shanta, who was a guest on my What's Around His Neck. We're going to tell you in a minute, Colleen. Oh, go ahead and tell her. Hey, Colleen.
Yes, this is
Stephanie.
This is the Raspberry Pi microcomputer, $35.
So it's real.
It's real.
It's a real board. So he wears that though as a symbol, as a discussion point, and as a real part of what he does with TechPace.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So that's the answer, Colleen. So Shanta, do you know Shanta?
I did reach out to her.
So here's the great thing. So I'm using her as an example because she was on the show recently, but they have a place where the kids go and then they provide activities. Do you work with other nonprofits or other organizations or community centers, churches, where there is a location and you can go in and provide some of that content, some of that? Obviously, TechPace is an amazing program. Give them something there. Do you work with other charities like, for example, Shanta's?
Yes, we do. We are definitely in the process of that. I reached out to Shanta just within.
We're calling you on the carpet, Shanta. Here we go. She's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
She said her hashtag is "There's good in the hood."
There's good in the hood. She did say that. We were doing Facebook Messenger. She said "good in the hood." So that's going to be a great strategic partnership.
Good.
You know, now because as I said before, it's a situation in which, you know, when I look at my watch, which is not here, it's 2018, and what I've seen as myself growing up, you know, the hook now in I would say the black community now for the boys is very similar to what it was before. Sports,
yes,
and hip hop.
Correct.
You know, when I look at 2018, it's like, man, a lot of them will not be pro athletes. We have to be honest. You know, sports is fun, but technology pays. And I'm writing a book about that too for our boys of color. Sports is fun, but technology pays. Do both. Play sports, but it's so important to also, let's say, for instance, coding of the football helmet.
Correct.
You have the coach on the sideline. He has an iPad. Oh, number 42. You have a concussion. Come out the field.
Correct.
Now, if a kid can have that skill set and still pursue his dreams in sports, you know, whether he makes it or not, he still has that coding background.
There's a, and you hate to say the word plan B because it has such a bad connotation to it, but I'm a believer in that. And I think that's why you see a lot of pro athletes who are choosing to wait to become pro so they have their degree, so that they have that fallback, because even if you get into pro sports or even college sports, it's such a short period of time, most of the time. There's so few that go for a long period of time, so you have to, if you're not going to be in broadcasting, or you don't have the record to get in broadcasting, you have to have a backup. You have to have something where you can support yourself for the rest of your life. All right, so Colleen asks, how are you getting this message to the kids? Do they allow you to come into the school?
Well, great question for sure. They're asking us to come into the schools now, and you know, we're getting requests all the way down as far as Miami. You know, 2 requests in Miami right now.
It's amazing
because the key is, you know, as we were talking before, washing feet.
Okay, so I haven't talked about that. I need to make a quick comment to
Yes.
somebody. I haven't talked about that because that is so important. So the show theme, which Everett came up with, this is not my creation at all. There were 2 themes. Am I qualified? That's not the word you use, but am I worthy? Am I qualified to be of service? And washing feet and more. So those of us who understand the washing feet analogy will appreciate this story, but it's such a simple, wonderful story. So tell them about that and tell them why that was one of your choices for this show title.
Well, I mean, when you honestly look at it, a lot of people don't want to wash the next person's feet, you know.
But tell them what that means, because that has a whole biblical side to it.
It does, yeah. Okay, well, you open it up. So
I did. No, of course, no. I'm good. I don't.
All right, cool.
I love talking about that.
Well, you know, and washing feet, that's a sign of humility. It's a sign of service. You know, it's when you can wash the next person's feet. You know, feet are seen as unclean. You know, and whether they're clean or not, you know, just the fact that you have to stoop down and wash someone's feet. The feet are on the ground. The ground is considered dirty. When you can show that humility, no matter what level of life that you're at, you're gonna naturally attract. I use the term masterminds. You're gonna naturally attract masterminds to want to help serve in your what am I trying to say?
The wheelhouse. You're in your. Go ahead. Organization.
Well, I guess you could say organization, but your project, you know, what you're trying to accomplish.
Sure.
You know, when they see that you're serving, what they want to do but help you and follow along as Jesus' disciples did.
Correct. It was an old biblical way, old school way of really showing that you had the humility. You kind of humbled yourself down. When you wash the feet of someone, I mean, think about it. I'm not a foot person, so we'll make that little giggle right now. But that is something where you're right. You're getting down. You're getting down to somebody else's level. You're doing something for them that probably they can't do on their own without a shower.
Yes.
Back in the day, they didn't have the shower, so that's part of the importance of that. And you're washing their feet, and you're doing something for them that really just puts you down at a different level. And that's what I feel like, especially in nonprofits, and especially what you're talking about, is you have to get yourself down to that level. If you can get down and figure out where they're at, where their heads are at, and do a service for them, where they can't really pay you back for washing their feet. And the point is that they shouldn't pay you back, and they can't pay you back, and it's just a wonderful offering to them. And so I love that, because to me, every time I hear the term, and you're right, Tony just said that he just talked about this, washing the feet in a small group. Wow. Every time I hear that term, immediately I go to, that is humility. That is being humble. That is service at its most pure level.
Yes, when you can, you know, find a cause. That's what I was trying to think. When you can find a cause.
There we go.
In which it appears that there's not at the moment, a lot of people are rallying behind, such as our at-risk boys of color. I mean, you could either look around, or you could say, hey, I'm going to be the person to wash feet and hope that people will follow along and get aboard with what's going on and, make a difference instead of looking around waiting for someone else to help the cause.
I love that. So our mutual amazing friend Vanessa Eccles just said, wait, I'm going to interview him later today. See, Vanessa, I'm a little bit ahead of you. That's why I want you on the show. But you're right. I mean, I love the humility of that. So what was your thought process in asking about, and I wish I could remember, am I qualified to be of service?
Am I qualified?
And so that's such a great point. So what are you trying to get across when you're talking about that message? Why did that come to you as a potential show title?
Right, that definitely came across to me because when you're taking on the world of technology, technology is so diverse, and I didn't mention I'm also a product developer. I have a patent from the United States government as of a year ago. I do have a couple products that are out right now. When I say out, we're having our sales sheet looked at by companies, expo marketers looked at one of our products, And so this is what I also want to bring to the table with the boys of color. But am I qualified? When I say that, there's no way in the world I can know all the different, myself personally, know all the different intricacies of technology. And so when I first thought about doing this nonprofit, I'm wondering, am I qualified to take on this type of undertaking? Because the average person will say, well, I need to know everything, just in case somebody asks me. Well, what I found out is this: when you're so passionate about what you do, you're going to naturally draw those people, those masterminds to come behind you, and they'll bring together those talents that you need to lift up the cause. Has nothing to do with me.
Correct.
I want to be, I would say almost like a coach on a team.
I love that.
The coach doesn't go out, he doesn't shoot ball during the game, he doesn't catch the football during the game, but he has the plays.
Yes.
I have the vision. And so naturally those people are drawn to the cause, and it's not about me, it's about the boys.
So your mom says she's proud of you. Well-spoken, good interview. Of course, I saw her say something earlier. She friended me today, and of course I friended you right back. Moses told God he wasn't qualified.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. I love that.
Yes.
So you're right. So I think that am I qualified to be of service can go across the spectrum. So you can be talking about nonprofits, you can be talking about business. Mm-hmm. If you wait until you think you have every answer to every question and know everything about every topic, then you are taking way too much on, and you will continue to wait and nothing will get accomplished. And I think that's sort of what Everett's saying, is that if you've got a calling and you've got a heart for it and a passion for it, the rest will come. It's like Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Same with what Colleen just said. So you absolutely have to get out there. If you have a passion, try it. If you don't try it, you're not going to make an impact. So you can sit all day long with a 40-page business plan mm-hmm. and a whole bunch of ideas and great technology and a heart, but if you're not willing to step outside your comfort zone and really just give it a whirl, trust me, if you give it a try, everything is going to come into play. He said it, Everett said it right. You're going to attract masterminds, you're going to attract the people, whatever your faith is, your belief, law of attraction, God, you're going to get the people you need in your life to help you move that thought process and that passion along.
Right. It's almost like two people that are flirting back and forth. You could flirt for months, for weeks, for days. If no one approaches the other, nothing happens. So it's like
Correct.
business. Like some people are just waiting around with an idea because they're stuck at the point, asking themselves, are they qualified? You should have that plan, that vision in mind. Whatever that vision in mind is, simply, the law of attraction, if you're of faith, you pray,
yes.
It's going to all come in due time because people are going to see that passion. People don't get behind people that are not passionate. So that's key too. You must really...
Totally. That is so true. So people will believe... So if you can't fake passion. Some of my 2018 words are authenticity, vulnerability, gratitude, passion. You can't fake the authenticity. People can see right through it. So if you have the passion and don't have the resources, don't have it all together, you can still do amazing things. You just have to take one step at a time and then you can pray, you can law of attraction, you can do all of the above. bring the people in, attract the people in that can help you with your what you want to accomplish and who you want to impact. And I think it's so powerful. I'm glad we talked about that and you reminded me, because I would have been very sad if I had not talked about washing the feet. All right, so you have an event today. Yes. So let's talk about that.
All right, so we will be at the Orlando Police Department from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we are going to have the boys code a home security camera with the Raspberry Pi microcomputer, a USB camera, and an app.
So they're gonna. So say that again. So they're going to code. So you're going to teach them coding.
Yes.
A simple coding in order for them to code a home security system.
Yes. Now again, this is only $35 right here. This is inexpensive, and you go on and you find an inexpensive, camera here and code it. Get your app.
So you're going to teach them. So how does that look when you're teaching them? So you have, let's say you have 10 boys, and they come together and you've got them there. Each one will they be working together separately? You're going to teach them the actual components of how to code it.
Yes.
And most of them probably haven't had any kind of coding class before. Correct?
Oh, that's very correct. And so we're expecting 30 plus
wow, that's awesome.
Boys, and and that happened like within a week's time, and we're going to actually expect more than that, because we still have a lot of mothers that are reaching out to us asking to be on the waiting list. We say, hey, no waiting list, just come on out, because this is we see that there's momentum that's building behind this, and that's just tells us that there's a lot of mothers that are out there that really want something for the future, for their at-risk boys of color, underserved sons, and so yes, they're going to get a look at the hardware side, again, which is the microcomputer,
right,
and then the software side, because now you have to code an app, and so when we say code an app, you can literally be at Walmart somewhere, and with this and the camera, you're looking at your home through the.
See, that's amazing stuff, and you're teaching them. So where do they go tonight? And we'll post all the information, but just let's verbally tell them, where is the event tonight?
This will be at the Orlando Police Department.
The one on Central? No?
The one right off of OBT.
OBT.
Yes.
Oh, yes. OBT and South Street. Yes. Thank you. But we'll post everything online. So what are some parting words of... This has been amazing, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate both of you being here. I love what you're doing. I love your servant's heart. And I think that is really what comes out of this, is that you've got a servant's heart. You're doing such great things for our community and our boys. I just think it's amazing. So any parting words for them?
Well, again, I'll just recap. The washing of the feet is so critical, because if people don't see you serving, why are they going to want to follow you?
I agree.
It's not gonna,
absolutely.
It's not going to happen. So at the moment in which you serve and you're doing an act of washing feet, people know what certain acts look like washing of the feet. Like with our event tonight, I was asked, am I going to say a lot tonight? And I said, hey, I just want to blend in, because I'm not the mastermind that's, that wrote the curriculum for, I give credit to the masterminds that wrote the curriculum for this program that's going on tonight with the app program with coding the home security camera. I didn't do that. So I want to lay low key, but we will acknowledge the masterminds that have written this curriculum and the volunteers that are there. I just want to blend in.
You're a conduit, though. I think it's so powerful that you're bringing that to kids who just would not have had the opportunity to have that as a resource. And I think that's you're definitely a blessing. TechPays is a blessing. We're going to post all of Everett's information after we finish the show. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. You're doing great work. We love you guys. You guys are amazing. And now our friend behind the camera is going to hit all the finish buttons. So
thank you, guys.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the love. We love you guys so much. And please, once we post things, reach out to Everett and his group. Love you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You can just hit finish.